I find that it's like magic that a short nap does as much good and often better than a longer one. For me, subjective.
What would be a longer one? Longer than 90 minutes?
No, like 90 minutes or but longer.
So
than
here's
90,
one of
like
the
2
timelines.
hours.
Yeah,
Here's
that's
one of the
dropping you,
timelines
starting
right
to drop you into REM sleep, and even if it's a tiny amount of REM sleep, people
Okay.
can come out of those
So I'm
naps
gonna
kind of
drop
disoriented.
this on this
Remember, in
timeline
sleep,
right here.
space, and time are totally
Then
uncoupled,
there's
and so
another timeline,
that's an odd
which
state to
was
re-enter
last
the
night and
world
the night
in if you're not
before's
going to stay there
timelines.
for a while, like for a good night's
Right
sleep.
here.
I think a 20-minute nap is pretty fantastic.
Would you say that's the
And
if
right
you were to
here.
recommend to the general? It's very weird to recommend
And they
anything
come.
to the general populace because obviously it's
So
very person specific.
I'm gonna do
but
that. I gotta
what's
hold
a
it
good
with my
one? Would you
elbow
say to
to
friends?
go in.
Is 20 minutes a good
20
one?
or
So my
30 minutes.
cropping tool is not
20 or 30 minutes
exactly
because you're going,
shaped.
unless you're
See,
sleep
I'm going off
deprived,
my timeline
you're
over
going
there,
to stay out
and I'm
of REM
close.
sleep,
So let's see.
rapid eye movement sleep. If you're sleep deprived, you'll drop right into it. If you've ever traveled and you're really jet lagged, you go to the hotel, you lay down for 1 second, all of a sudden you're just like,
Yep.
you're in a psychedelic dream,
Yep. 'Cause there's the
which can be
timeline.
pretty great too.
So
But I think that 20, 30 minutes,
yeah.
and if you can't sleep, some people have trouble napping, then learning to relax the body as much as possible, like trying to remove all expression from your face.
So the timelines that I'm showing you right now in the moon correlates exactly with what these guys are talking about, but they're not going to ever find it. The answers and the reasons. They're not looking at us as electrical creatures. They're looking at us as bio creatures with electrical components. And when they're talking about sleeping and being able to are the best time of day for us as individuals, they're looking to the genes. They're still calling them genes because no one's going to get out of this where we're stuck because of science, medicine, math, all these lies that we've been telling ourselves. So these little bits and pieces of truth that trickle down are useless. That's what I keep trying to explain to you. They're useless to know all this science, math, and fakery. If it's only little bits and pieces of truth that trickle down, then it makes everything a lie because nobody can go for the next answer. So here's the next answer for what these guys are talking about. These lines in the moon that I call timelines, they're timelines derived by the false creator to show us so that anytime we want to know the time of the day, time of the month, time of the year, time of the centuries, it's a clock. It's a fucking clock. And I'm able to see it more clearly so quickly. This is going to happen fast. Because really, I've already known that it was going to turn out this way for quite a long time. For over a year anyway, since I did the Harold Cott series. And it sure to hell seems that's the way it's going. So that's one timeline right there. And because my cropper is shitty, I'd have to unbolt it and bring it over to this other timeline here on this side. But I guess I could do it with my hand too. But now I gotta work the fucking lights. So what I'm doing is I'm changing lights and shadows, and it crops the imagery perfectly. What it's doing is as that crescent comes through, and if we know all these timelines, yep. So there's all these timelines in the fucking moon. That's the way this is going to end up going. And that's what all the astrologers should have been doing instead of their geocentric lies. And that's exactly what the religions all should have been doing all along, telling you the truth. And they didn't. That's exactly what's fucking happening.
Getting a few 90-minute naps.
Okay, well, I thought about this a bit before we met up today. So I think there are two general approaches that could work. Neither one necessarily better than the other. One would be just to hammer through the whole thing, just to get your level of alertness and adrenaline ramped up so that you don't expect yourself to sleep.
Yeah.
There's
So we got here. Oh my God, I'm so fucking. I don't even feel I have a right to be happy right now because I just lost a loved one and I don't even feel like fucking doing this. But this is unbelievable. So we have waxing and weaning timelines is what I'm seeing now. Because right now I'm on a weaning timeline, and on this side I'm on a waxing timeline. So get this way over fuck over here, and there's the timeline from the other night. I'm off a little bit. Well, actually, it was 2 nights, so that's probably the first night, and then this fucking cropping, motherfucker. Hold on a second. That's the first night. It's right there. Because I only did it. Oh no, 2 nights. I got 2 nights. So I got this one right here, and then the other one was this one. I'm trying to see the next one. This one. I'll confirm this before I get too excited, but it sure fuck looks like that's the way this is going. So now I have to open this up. So hold on. I'm gonna hold with my elbow, open this all the way up on the other side to a full moon, because that is gonna be the weaning side, and this is the waxing side with this crescent that my hand is now doing. So this is gonna be wax on, wax off, motherfuckers. So look, bang, 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 boom. So this is exactly what's happening. So as it's turning in a clockwise rotation, coming through. So this is exactly what I'm gonna have in my video of the moon. And it was funny because I was saying it when I seen it coming through too. Oh, touched my lights. Hold on. Okay. So this one, there's several of them in here, but let's see, which one do I go for? Actually, this is probably a good place because see, there's a native Indian, an image of a native Indian here. He's got the big eye here. He's got a big eye here. He's got the tight hair, so even the hair's tight to his head. Native Indian nose, for no doubt about it. Native Indian lips. Watch, try to get him. I could crop him for you, but he looks Native Indian. And again, I can't explain inanimate objects or other things like face paint, right? I don't have any explanation for it. But if I'm right about this particular image, and again, it's image within image within image, but the hairdo goes, the hairdo works, and I've seen other Native Indians with even, I'd hate to say it, but with feathers in their hair, images in the clouds, at the cloud level. But it was only one. I seen one of those at probably 2 or 3 Native Indians over the last 5 years. But yeah, he definitely looks Native Indian to me, this one. And I could crop him in better too if I wanted to. But I wanted to look at these timelines. Now I knew he was here. I knew this image was here, but I never see the other timeline. The other timeline coming the other way where he will be cropped again on a waxing moon. I'm sorry, on a weaning moon will be this one, this line. And that image, that Native Indian image will be perfect, coming that way, not this way. Because watch, I'm going to take this side away. That's a weaning moon. And here comes the waxing moon. Let's see if he adds any more hair. Because this is the same image, but higher eyes of the image I told you that looks like Jesus Christ. that we know of as Jesus Christ. And the reason is, I say that is because the ridge, the nose ridge and the eyebrows look like the character that they always get to play the role of Jesus. That's why I say that. So now I'm going to give you the larger face, because remember that Jesus one of them, the tongue is sticking out right here. His eyes are up here, and then I was showing you on that earlier videos another set of eyes above, because I can keep getting them to look more like what you all know as Jesus Christ. And I have to change my angle over to here, and I have to come up and down this way. He still has that Indian look, so I'm looking for a higher set of eyes. I'm not going to be using these big eyes, but I am using that nose to try to get him. Let's see, where the fuck is he? Tell you what though, looking at the hairdo on that Indian one makes me think even more and more so Indian. And see, the hair is tight to the head when it's this one. See? And then when it becomes the Jesus image that looks like Jesus, it uses all this for a longer set of hair. Then I can do this. He's even got a neck. He's got a neck right here. He's got hair coming down both sides. Finding these timelines is going to be a big deal. Okay. Alright, I want to try this now. Fuck. Right here. Yup, it crops right on his face. So I can, so it crops off the face and then the hair. Hold on. I'll get them back for you. Give me a second. And then so he's a hard right angle. Oops. I'm trying to see if I can get him to go any other nationalities. So use that line. And then they open them up. Oh, I see. I see why the eyes. Okay, hold on. Lights and shadows, lights and shadows. So I need his hair in there. I need his hairline to come into play. So I'm gonna have to, so in order to get the Jesus character, Jesus image, I need to come from this line to another line. You gotta find the next line. I got too much glare, hold on. Fuck it. Oh, it's this way, the other line. Ah, so the next line is at a different angle. Oh, yeah. Alright. And then this line must be on the weaning side. I'm sorry, no. On the waxing side, because I'm wax on, wax off. Alright. So, yeah. Yeah, there's gonna be rhyme and reason for all this shit, man. And it's gonna be so easy for all you people out there who got a half a fucking wit. Now's your chance to use it. You should be able to put this together really quickly. A lot faster than I can. Yep, this is unbelievable. I can't believe it's taken me 5 fucking years to figure this out, man. And see, if people would work together instead of Wolfie coming in and fucking with me, because Wolfie was so pissed off that I was picking on Harold Kotz, which is the whole point of everything I fucking do, is to call people out. It's my only way of doing it. Then we could have figured this out together real fast. That dude Wolfie was big into nature. He's a fucking moon watcher. He thinks he's a werewolf or something. So he could have came in and fucking did what I'm doing here, because I was honest about it. As soon as I figured it out and I saw the lines, because I was using triangular cropping tools, and then he was busting my balls about doing exactly what I'm doing now, and I said I didn't think that this was going to be anything, because the builders are triangular. So I thought the builders being triangular, I should do everything triangular. I fucked up. Wasted fucking another, what, that was over a year ago, that we could have figured this out earlier. I mean, I'm definitely gonna figure it out quick now for sure. All right, so you got this face here coming through. Now this is one that I don't even want to say anybody's name anymore, really. But someone else that I was working with that I did a series to. Not it wasn't Rick's series. It was someone else's series. But when he one of the images that he pointed out was, I believe it was this one with the eyes here, the nose here, and this mouth here. So I can get him in a lot of different directions, and he does look canine in many directions. Okay. Shit. Shit, I wasted a lot of fucking time, man. Gotta stop letting people aggravate me. But then again, I never would have found it if he didn't aggravate me, right? I'd still be using triangular shapes. Because I did notice that even when I was using my triangulars. But this works much better. I don't think I would have figured out that it was something to do with the timeline. I mean, look at this shit. I don't know how good these will come out. We'll see what happens. I don't have filters on the camera or nothing like that. I'm just counting on my colored lights to do everything for me. Oh, fuck. I haven't fucking slept in days. Oh my God, this is unbelievable. Well, I'll tell you what, Rufus, if you ever come to these videos, man, thank you. Thank you. You don't realize what you're missing, man. You should really go look if you haven't. Maybe you started looking and just still figuring it out. I don't know. But you should, and Harold Kotz, too, should go and look at what I'm showing them. Be able to put this shit together like that. That was supposed to be my finger snapping, but fingers are fucking oily. Okay, we'll figure it out.
When you exhale, the diaphragm moves up, the heart gets a little smaller, volume is smaller, blood flows more quickly through the heart, signal sent up to the brain, and the brain sends a signal back to slow the heart down. This is the basis of heart rate variability. So at any point, if you feel like your heart is racing and you feel like you're working too hard per unit of effort, focus on making your exhales longer or more intense than your inhales. if ever you feel like you're truly flagging, you do not have the energy to get up, it's like, okay, it's time to go, and you're exhausted, you want to draw more oxygen into the system, get your heart rate going faster. Now, some people, when they hear this, probably think, well, this is really obvious, but there's so much out there about breath work and how to breathe and all this stuff, but no one talks about how to do it in real time while you're exerting effort.
So this is something like almost like second by second, you can adjust things that just in real time based on how you're feeling, but based on the heart rate.
That's right.
The experience of the heart rate.
That's right. So one thing that could be very efficient, and we're doing some work with athletes now. So these are unpublished data. But
See, this one's pretty cool too. There's a human face here. Eye,
nice cadence of
nose,
heart rate
mouth,
variability,
beard down
do
here.
double inhales.
Reminds me of one of those. I forget what they call them.
While you're running, what
the
this will do is that when you do the double
But
inhale,
he also
it has the
has
effect of reopening the alveoli of the lungs.
something coming out of
Your
the
lungs
side
are
of
filled
his
with
mouth, the
tons
very
of little
corner
sacs.
of his
When
mouth.
they tend to
That always
collapse
looked
as
like
you fatigue.
a pipe or something. I
carbon
assumed
dioxide
it as.
builds up in the
And
bloodstream.
then
That's when
even
we
out
start
of
getting
that pipe,
stressed.
if
If
I
you've ever been
assume that
sprinting,
it
you
is,
start
because I
getting
don't
beat
have
and you're going as
clarification
hard
on
as
it,
you
but
can.
it's got a
What you
little bit
really
of
need
what
to do
looks
is
like
double
smoke
inhale and
coming out.
reinflate these
So that
sacs
would
in the
be
lungs and then offload a lot of
smoke
carbon
that
dioxide.
we never see,
So when you're at a
right?
steady cadence and
That
you're
I never
feeling good,
seen in the last
double
5
inhale,
years.
exhale. Double
And
inhale, exhale
and
is a
another
terrific
inanimate
way
object,
to
if it
breathe
is,
while
right?
you're in
But his
ongoing
eyes are
effort.
here,
By the way,
his nose is
any
here, his mouth is here,
recommendations or differences in nose
beard is
or
here.
mouth
What do they call
breathing?
them,
So
guys?
nasal
Not
breathing,
guineas, but
there's a lot of excitement now,
what the
obviously,
fuck were
about
they
nasal
called?
breathing because of James Nestor's book, Breath. There was also, if people are going to know about that book, that I do feel like out of respect for my colleagues,
I'm
there was a
changing
book
him up a
by
little bit
Sandra
now,
Kahn
kind of
and
getting rid
Paul
of his
Ehrlich at
beard
Stanford,
and
both
going in
professors at
tighter on
Stanford,
him
with a foreword
for
by
another look.
Jared Diamond and Robert Sapolsky. So
Nice.
some heavy hitters in
So
this book.
when I go
And the
in
book is called
deeper and change
Jaws
my
by
angle,
Hidden
it's got the
Epidemic. And it's
same,
all about how
almost
nasal
the same
breathing
two
is
eyes.
better
Because when I
for
pull out,
us, especially kids, than being
when I
mouth
pull out
breathers.
further,
Under most conditions,
it's going to be these
for
eyes
sake
down
of
here.
improving
This
immunity,
one
it turns out
and
there's
this
a
one
microbiome in
on
the
the side
nose,
of the
like all
nose.
sorts of good stuff about
When I
nasal
go
breathing
in tight like
preferentially.
this, we're using this
But when we
eye, this eye
exercise,
with this hairdo,
you
right?
can
With all
you
this
can do
hair,
pure nasal
that
breathing, but the
nose,
problem is once you
and
get up
that
to kind of
mouth,
third and fourth and
and
fifth
the
gear
chin's right
effort,
here.
you can't nasal
But
breathe
now
and be
when
at
I pull
maximum
back out
capacity unless
here
you've been training it for a very long
and
time.
change
So
my
I would say
angle back
double
to
inhale through the
here,
nose, offload through the mouth. So
then
double
I can
inhale,
add
exhale
this
while you're in
as the
steady
beard,
effort.
not
And then
my
if you really feel like you
imagination.
need to gas it and
But-
you're
And I
pushing,
know what all
the
these
data
images
show
are.
that
I know all
then
these
just
images.
use
So I know
whatever's
that if I
there,
actually
right?
go
Just go
upside
into
down,
kind of
there's a
default
face
mode
laying here
because
with a
bringing too much
human image with
concentration to
this is
something
his
is also
hairdo.
going to spend
And it's
epinephrine.
many, many other
The
things
goal
as
is to
well.
get
But
into that,
if you look
I don't like the
closely,
word, but the flow
there's an
state
upside down.
where
See
you're not
his nose
thinking
right
too
here,
much, you're just in
small
exertion.
face.
So
Small
these are
face.
things that can help in the transitions. But I don't think there's any secret breathing technique. Anyone who's been in the SEAL teams will kind
So
of,
now
they'll tell
I'm
you
going
like
to
there's
go
no
further to my right,
breathing technique, right?
and I'm going to
there's
add to his
tools that
face
you
and
can look
cheek
to
all
from
of
time to
this,
time.
just like it
And these
did
double inhale
with
exhales
that
can
other
be
one I
great for
did the
setting
other
heart
day,
rate
which I don't.
variability
I think I got
very
cropped
quickly
right
and getting
now.
into a steady
No,
cadence
he's over
while you're
there. Where
exercising.
the fuck
But if
is
there's
he?
a sprint, like if suddenly you guys are
He's over
sprinting,
there somewhere. But
ditch
anyway,
the double inhale
so I'm going to
exhale
do the
and
same
just
thing. I'm going to
sprint.
come from this
The
angle.
one thing that you mentioned, he's probably gonna push my buttons. It's a good place to ask a question about anger. So I'll probably get pissed off at him at some point.
To
I'm
this
guessing.
angle,
And
and
do
I
you
can
have
add the rest of
thoughts
his cheek this
from
way.
a scientific perspective, or also just the personal philosophical perspective about the role of anger in all of this?
And as
in
usual,
managing
we can
alertness,
change lights
performance.
and
I
shadows.
think about
So
this a
let's see.
lot
I'm going to do
because
this.
there's so much out there about how important it is to do
I'm
things
going
from
to
a
do
place
this.
of love.
It's hard to crop at the
you
same
know?
time I'm doing all
I
this
tweet
shit.
about it all the time.
And I think
So
and
come
love
down
is
here,
powerful, right?
and crop 'em.
It is interesting that autonomic arousal, alertness.
And I'm looking for a timeline is what I'm looking for.
Physiologically looks identical for love and excitement as it does for
That's just a shadow
anger
of a
and
screw.
frustration and wanting to defeat your opponent or whoever that
Try
opponent
to get
happens
rid
to
of
be.
it.
They're identical, except that the love component does tend to
Fucking-
be associated
it's
with
a
the
shadow
release of
from the window light.
neurochemicals of
Yeah,
the
that's why it's better to
serotonin
do
and
this at
dopamine
night.
type
Let's try
that
this.
do have this replenishment
Try doing it
component.
upside down. where
I
you
don't
can
think
get rid of
one
some
wants
of
to
the
be in
shadow.
constant anger and friction, but I'll come clean a bit. There have been portions of my career where some of my best work, my extra 2 hours, my ability to nail
we'll
a
crop 'em
really
down.
hard deadline or problem has come
Crop
from
'em down.
not wanting to get out
Yeah, I
competed
got
or from
more shadows
wanting
coming
to
from that
prove
right now.
something. That these days I'm not oriented from that place toward my work quite as often, but I think we should be really honest. Anger is powerful, and provided it's channeled, it's very, very powerful, and it can give you a ton of fuel and gas to push when otherwise you tap.
Yeah, Joe Rogan has, aside from being a fan of his, has been an inspiration to sort of to have a kind of loving view on the world and the way you approach the world, to me. So I've
Just to let you know, Lex, Joe Rogan knows everything that I'm telling you and more. He knows all the truth about it all, and he lies to you purposely. He lies to all of you purposely. He's an obvious liar to me. I definitely can see through him. And yeah, all that shit he's selling you on outer space and NASA and all that shit. He makes millions of dollars a year for doing that. He sold you out. So, I know you think he's your friend and stuff like that. And in the world that we live in, it's not a world. And Joe Rogan knows that. And in the last 5 years, knowing more and more about what he was up to all along, now I just learned in the last few months of doing these other 3 series that I just did, just how purposeful of a liar he is. He's just as purposeful as Trump or Putin or fucking they're all involved. they're all part of it. They're high up. I'm not going to get into the conspiracy shit. I'll just tell you, Joe Rogan's lying motherfucker, and he's lying to you. He's lying to you about vaccinations. He's lying to you about pretty much everything that he says is a fucking lie. The outer space shit he sells you on. This fucking thing, man. The screw really pisses me off. I gotta make some new cropping tools. That's what I gotta do. Yeah, the one I'm doing now is what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this aside. I'm going to turn this a little so that the lights are coming at the moon, photographed this way in that direction. I'll just change that direction just a little bit, right? Because the one I'm going to be trying to bring you in on right now over the next couple seconds are a couple of them that we looked at the other day. One of them is this one right here, his nose. My finger's on his nose. And it's another black human, African. I don't know. African, Ethiopian, I don't know. But one of the things that I always liked about this one is he does have something on his head as well as for wearing apparel. And you might be able to get a nationality out of him if everybody knows nationalities. And most people do better than I do. So I'm going to crop them down. At the same time, I'm still looking for these timelines. I'm still going with my timelines because I want to see eventually where these timelines are all ending up as the moon comes through. And I'm sure it's going to change from each one of these timelines, obviously. So in other words, it's not going to be exactly here on the following week, month, year. Every time it comes through, it's going to be a little bit off of the timeline. Or I shouldn't say off, but onto the next of the timelines. So anyways, he's right here. Let's see if I can get his face. See, because he doesn't have big lips. He's got the dark skin in this image. I'll get him. Hold on. See, my cropping tool's fucking me up right now too because of it keeps pushing up everywhere. It's been sitting around, hanging around and stuff. So it's right here. All right, so the guy I'm trying to bring you in on right now is eye, nose, mouth open. Now, there's a couple different ways you can take him because he's got a beard and everything like that, and facial hair that goes all the way around that way in one direction. So let me try to get him. And I'm also trying to find at the same time, let's just do this for a minute. Okay, then I'm going to run up this line with my color. I'm trying to keep all this out, all this other stuff out for you with this cropping tool is what I'm trying to do just to give you him. Because I don't know that he falls on a timeline or not. I don't know. I don't know how this works yet. Let's see. See the shadows right here from my stupid fucking cardboard? From my dumb cropping tool, I'm going to have to make better cropping tools. It's fucking me up. Okay, so I'm going to come over here, start here. Yeah, so he's over here to my left with the beard and everything. All right, so I just got him to go from a. I'm trying to get my stick in there. Here it comes. Okay. Fuck, the shadows on that side. Son of a bitch. All right, so I just got him to go from a black human to Caucasian, but I don't know what nationality still. So again, we're using this eye and this eye. It is hair, because the other day, remember I said wearing apparel, because when he's black, it looks more like wearing apparel, but maybe it does work out as a hairdo. But in this case, it does. What I'm showing you right now, because let me get them back for you. Hold on. Okay, eye, to the point where you can see the pupils, nose, mouth right here. And I'm moving everything around because I'm trying to do many things at once. His beard is all down here, and his hair goes up and around. Let's see if I can get him again now. There he is. There he is. See his beard and everything? So that's his hair going up this way, and that ends up being his hairdo. So I don't know what this white thing coming down his head is, if it's going to count as wearing apparel, because I still haven't figured out wearing apparel, or is it going to be his hair? But he definitely turns Caucasian because the nose gets smaller, the lips change up at this angle, and I'm sure he'll go feline, canine, rodent, ape, human, beast as I go around other areas to definitely, when I go like that, and when I go upside down, for sure. But I'm saying as far as finding the ideal angle for each image. So if I go like this, I know I can get the white face, right? I know I can get the Caucasian male with the beard. Then if I come this way, and I come down this way, and I change, again, my lights and shadows. There we go. I'm going to change my lights and shadows, and I start getting, and it's still too close. Let's see. I think I got to pull this apart from my shadows, and I can get them to start. Yep, because see what we're doing here by doing this is throwing the light over the shadows differently, right? So the shadows may get larger, smaller. The shadows may switch. It may, all these areas that we're seeing as the lighter areas will switch over and seem darker, and then the darker areas will seem lighter. Why? Because we're changing angles of perspective and also changing light and color. So when we do all that, we're not changing the images, we're only changing our perspective of them, so that we're seeing some images more clear at one angle than another. So him, I'll get him again later. Let's see what Yeah, see how the shadow shit's bothering me. See? It fucks me up. I need it nice and clean on the paper, stay flat, but I'm not set up for it, I guess. I fucking live and learn. Alright, so I'm gonna spin this all the way around, back to here. So this female body image right here, the other day when I was working on it, I was trying to explain again the angle, and I said when she's looking over her shoulder, that's how I know I'm going to come right for here for her best angle, right? So I know I'm going to be over here somewhere for her. When I tell you she looks more attractive, her hair starts flowing, the facial features become more feminine, all that kind of stuff. She's reaching down and holding her tail. Now there's several ways to do this too. You got a reverse telescope and a standard telescope. So putting all these images that I'm showing you guys in different directions and casting light over them, different color light in all different directions, and also perspective and distance, angles of perspective and distance. Also, we're going to do that. So see up here when I'm angled this way, you can see that Jesus character more clearly than you could in the other one. And also, I'm letting a lot of light into my camera, so I'm changing it up. But he's got the high eyes in here, and it's this part of his nose and these high eyebrows are the ones that give me the impression. Yeah, and then the tongue starts sticking out. Yeah, I'm knocking all my shit over because I'm one person, and it's hard to do all this when you're just one person. So his tongue's sticking out right here. You can clearly see his lips. You can see the intent of the imagery. You can see his hairline and everything like that. He does have one of those. In one direction, this mustache right here that he's got right here follows down along his lower lip as well. So he's got hair around his mouth in one direction. This is, believe it or not, I don't know if you will believe it or not, this is the same exact one I was showing you, I think earlier in this video or in the last video, that turns into a native Indian. I can see the native Indian now too. The nose widens. I can get the nose to go wider. But now, if I do this, and I put the rest of the tongue in, I'm coming back, and I'm coming further to the right, down towards the table to do this. And then when you do that, you're going to get his tongue. You're going to, get his tongue in it, because if I go up like this, you're going to start seeing the Indian figure again. So that's why I'm trying to lower him for you. He's got a whole chin that comes down this way and another one. I mean, if I go like that, I can get the whole bottom of the chin and everything in for you. And he goes canine. See? He's going canine now. So depending on what I crop and what I put in there, there's the human one. There's the human face, the Jesus face right there, with the tongue sticking out. But then if I let you take in all this down here and come down a little bit further, there you go. How do I know it goes canine? Oops, I moved the paper. Did I do it? Yeah, I was able to, yeah, right there. So I have to take this away in order for him to go canine, because this part of the upper lip, when it's a canine, goes right to that nose. And see how it branches off like that, like the little Y under a canine or a feline's nose? See? And it changes them up. So then if I take that away and I come back to here, all of a sudden you pull in these eyes, this side of eyes or the other set above it, either one. You can take either one for whatever images you want. So then if I angle down that way, there you go. So now we're not dealing with the Indian anymore. Now we're dealing with another Caucasian. Now the hair changes up, the eyes, and the further up I go, which I cannot do because I'll bump into my light. Fucking amazing, man. Fucking amazing. So here's another example of a set of glasses, but again, I can't explain wearing apparel. So there's an eye here and an eye here, with a nose right here and a mouth right here, hairdo all up here, coming back down this way, and you even got an ear back here. Now these glasses have frames on this particular image at a certain angle, and then once I go in and change my angle, then I get his pupils. That's why I keep saying wearing apparel is most likely me seeing what I want to see. So if I'm back here grabbing that image, because this is here, this dark area, I have to assume, and also I don't have visual on his pupils either from this distance. Then what I say is, okay, here comes a different angle because I spun that thing, and here he comes. Let's see. Okay, so this is another one, a totally different one that could also pass. He's got similar eyebrows. So who knows? He's gonna fall in under the what you would call the devil or Jesus, one or the other. Beautiful hairdo. You could see the fucking turn of his hair. Modern hairdo, we would consider it. I would think. You can clearly see his eyes. He's got those evil-looking eyebrows that like whip up like that, And he's growling. He looks like and he's got hair down here even that's coming behind his face and everything like that. Um, the only thing is, um, I don't know, I lost track of what I was thinking. I was trying to reach for the light. Hold on. Okay. This is why I say everyone has to go look for themselves, because it'll get through to you so much better, you know. So he's right there. Anyways, I could probably crop him, but again, trying to do videos and do all this is a lot harder than doing it for yourself. So I was giving you this one. I can't crop the fucker now. Right there, with the nice hairdo and everything. But then, right next to him is another one I could crop. And here's one of the timelines, too. Right here. And that timeline comes right in the middle of this eye right here. Whose eye is that? Let's see. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So that's one. There's a timeline. And then here's a timeline. So these two timelines here show us this one, which is the one right next to the one I was just showing you. He's using the other eye. Part of the other eye. There it is. So he was using part of that other eye, that's the way it always is. It's image within image. To give you that one, which is, see if I can find another light for him. I mean, there's many images within there, but I'm just doing the best I can to show you. What the hell color was I in? Okay, so if I'm there, so there's, probably thousands. I mean, because I can keep changing depth and I keep going in and in and in. But just right here with this particular green, it looks like a greenish light. You got a nice eye here. The other eye's going to be right here. His nose is here, and he's looking down. So I'm going to crop him this way. And let's see if I change the light. There you go. Okay. So with him cropped this way, this image, I should say, they both got black around the eyes on that one. Nose, you can look up the nostrils of the nose. The nose is right here. And you can see the nostrils very clearly. His mouth's open. And in this particular direction, he's got beard and looks like mostly just beard. I don't see a lot of mustache shit going on. And I can turn him like this. So you're seeing his eyes a little better at this angle because I'm trying to bring in his pupils. So I'm looking around for the angle to find his pupils. And the only reason I even picked this image is because, look, timeline and timeline. So these timelines are all through the moon. And I can't do all this myself, everybody out there. Anybody that comes to my fucking videos. I mean, this is crazy. You guys got to get this shit to the people who will go look. If none of you are willing to go look for yourselves, then you have to call out the other people that at least help me call out the people that I'm calling out, because these people that you're looking up to, you're the minion, you're the fans. So obviously, of these people who I'm calling out, because that's all I usually get is people bitching about me ranking out the people that they love. So if you love them so much, let them help. Let them fucking help this situation. At least you'll learn and find out if they're purposeful liars or not. All right, it's my time. I'll be back.